Hey. Welcome to Chop It Up with Mike and Donny. I'm Donny Harrell, and Mike is not in tonight, but I'm joined by my beautiful co-host, the one and only Tamar Braxton. What's up, Tay?
How are you tonight?
Huh? I can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Yeah, come a little closer to the mic.
Hello.
What did you say, Tay?
I said I'm good. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, Tamar. You know, it's a beautiful day today. It's raining. I like the rain sometimes, Tamar, because, it makes you reflect on a lot of things, It calms you, Tamar. What does the rain do for you?
Oh, it makes me sleep.
Does it?
Yes, I get like insanely tired.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I mean? I get tired at night when the rain makes you sleep real well. You
That's
get what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sunshine,
Yes. So what's going on for today? What we talking about today, Tamar?
My God, last night was off the chain. So, I thought that we'd bring it down a notch and get a little bit more honest, right?
Yes.
So tonight we're going to be talking about how important is our mom's influence.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's everything. It's everything, Tamar.
Are you close to your mom?
Am I close to her? That's all I got. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with not a father, so my mother was my mother and my father. That's my ride or die right there. That's my concierge. How you say it when they talking about in the mob shit? That's we go for all the advice. You know what I'm saying? She's a religious gangster. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my everything right there, Tamar.
Yeah, me too. I'm really, really close to my mother. My mother's like, my fifth sister. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
She has a lot of influence, not just on me, but my entire family. But can I introduce our guest for tonight?
You make it happen. You're the boss.
Okay, good. So we have the beautiful Sari comedian. She's amazing, and she's here with us. Drewski, Dr. Chandra, and Rip Michaels. Welcome, guys. We're so happy.
Hey, how y'all doing?
All right. Thanks for having us.
Y'all better perk up. Perk up. Come on. Perk
I'm
up.
excited.
Here.
We talking about my mom. I just got a whipping 2 minutes ago for not folding up clothes. So I'm ready.
So is it safe to say that you're close to your mom too?
Say it again, Tamar.
I said, so Rip, it's safe to say that you're close to your mom too, because you say you just got in trouble for not folding up the clothes.
Oh yeah, I'm really close to my mom. My mom is my rock. My mom, but my parents still together. Don't judge them. They've been married for 41 years. My parents been together 41 years, and they've been cheating on each other for 40 years. So, but they still together. So.
That's how the real couples last.
Well, you lucky, Rip. I mean, you lucky, Rip. You got a mama and daddy that's in the house 40 years, because that's not too common in the black household. So kudos to you, my brother.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. I consider myself lucky. I don't come from a broken home. I come from a home that possibly should have been broken. Because my parents, you think I'm joking. My dad used to call his girlfriend auntie. I didn't even know that was my auntie. I had no idea. So one day I came home and I was like, I'm telling the truth. I had no idea that wasn't my auntie Jockey. The one day I came home, I was like, Mama, Auntie Jockey bought me a jacket. Look at this jacket. She was like, it ain't your auntie. That's your daddy girlfriend. Now go outside. Your Uncle Craig gonna take you to the zoo. That's all I'm saying. But they still together. That's all I'm gonna say. That's true. My mom watching right now. She's like, yeah, well, I did what I had to.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Drewski?
Well, clearly I ain't grow up in a black household, but my mom was a single mom. She raised 4 of us. My dad was still in the picture, but they divorced. He did his thing, sent his child support, held us down. But we grew up with my mom. There's 4 of us grew up with my mom in the hood, basically. So like Donny said, she's definitely my rock. I seen her struggle. I seen everything she went through. So I think that's what kind of motivated me too. Like, okay, we gonna get out of here. We breaking up out of here. So my mom definitely held it down. Like, it's still doing. She still does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about you, Sari?
Yes. My parents were together. I can't beat the 40-something that Rip had.
I know, right?
The 35 years.
Wow.
Woo! 35 in LA 2 weeks is a golden anniversary. Okay, so 35 years is definitely something to applaud, right? But recently my mom passed away maybe about 5 years ago, and now my dad is like 75 years old with a 2-year-old. So we ain't gonna talk about that tonight. We're not gonna get into it.
Don't hate on your daddy. He's
That's
all
what
of it always women like huh?
You got a 2-year-old sibling?
I have a 2-year-old brother. I'm not gonna say I'm 2 years old, and I got a 2-year-old brother. you know, and my mom, when my dad was my mom, it was just beautiful. And then now my dad is dating these thoughts is what's going on. I don't know.
No, Sarai, don't do that to your daddy. Just
I don't know
because
how to
he's
feel about
older, he's supposed to stop working and having fun because he got 75. No, he can still do what he does.
Don't be like that, Donny. Don't be on his side, Donny. Don't be.
Your dad is out here creating more mothers.
Pray for him.
Right. Your daddy must look good.
He's handsome. Wait a minute now.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, okay. Hey, more, Dr. Shonda might want him. You never know.
My dad is my dad is a preacher's kid, super Christian about laying hands on the sick. Now he laying hands on somebody 22, and I don't know how to deal with it. I don't know how to.
Definitely laying hands.
Literally.
The Lord is his shepherd and he know what he wants.
Yeah, I still cry every night. I still nah. That's a true story. 75 with a 2-year-old. Yep.
So at the end of the day, when we think about our mothers, what are some of the things that they taught us, you know what I'm saying, growing up that we still, you know what I mean, what we still have some of those values to this day? All you guys, just talk, y'all. Talk. We can talk. Just talk, everybody.
Well, for me, my mom really held us down. Like, it was a point, and she taught me how to keep moving no matter what. Like, I remember my dad got laid off, and he was laid off from the steel mill because I'm from Chicago, and he was laid off from the steel mill for about 5 years, and he wasn't working. And my mom would come home, and we wouldn't have nothing to eat. She would come home from work and realize there was nothing to eat in there, and she would go upstairs, get dressed, put on a red dress and some lipstick, some high heels, and she would go away. And like 2 hours later, she'd come back with a dress on backwards and a lipstick smudge, and we had chicken. And all I know is my daddy couldn't have none, and he couldn't have no chicken either. So she always held us down and made sure we was good no matter what. So that's what I've learned from my mom. Yeah. And that she was a hustler. And
that too.
You didn't give your daddy no chicken.
Okay.
No, he couldn't have none. Want no chicken either.
Like, when it comes, I think mamas are love. You know, mamas love. Like, you can have a rapper named Lil Glaucoma, and he locked up for killing like 10 people in a pit bull. You know what I'm saying? But when they come to visitation, it's always going to be the mama. No matter what, whatever happens, a mom will always love her children and always embrace it. Like, they birth energy, they give life. I think there's nothing more remarkable than a woman. A woman's strength, the way she'll love kids and everything.
Yeah, I think for us, it was important for my mom to express, like, listen, no matter what or whoever comes around, your family, your immediate family, your brothers, your sisters, those are the most important people, you know, to always stay down with. And I think she instilled that in us. Even having like cousins over the house all the time, aunts, uncles, the grandmother living with us. So it was like really family around all the time. And I think that was something that was important. Like, stick with your family. Don't let no outsiders in. Don't tell your business to these people. Like, stick with your family. And she was big on that. It still is. But that was something that always stuck out to me as I'm getting older now and I'm starting to, want to create my own family. It was like, well, I think that comes from my mom, making sure like we always stuck together as a team. Like, even if we're arguing, brothers and sisters fighting, someone else come, outsider, it's like, okay, we're a team now. So it was always like that type of energy in the house.
Well, just that your mom was, she's become influential into your own family. How was that?
Well, I don't have I'm not a father yet. At least I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no kids that I know of.
2-year-olds for you.
But like now at this point, we working on it, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I think I'm ready. And just knowing like and watching everything she went through to raise us, I learned from that. And now, when we talking about having kids, I'm like, well, my mom used to do this. And I even take it out on my fiance. Like, listen, my mom makes sure the clothes was clean. So go downstairs, wash the clothes. And she's like, I'm not your mom. So that's, it becomes like that type of argument. Like, listen, I know your relationship you had with your mom and whatever she used to do and spoil you and this and that, but I'm not your mother. So I think and now she influenced me so much that now that becomes a situation in my household now. So I think it's pretty funny. Like, damn, she influenced me that much. And I learned so much and things she did for us that I didn't even realize not all women do for their man. And she's like, listen.
But ain't that kind of like for as men ripping and my man DJ Scrooty, Drewski, don't you think that with our mother's influence, don't you think that when we see women and we meet women, that's kind of like we look at them like to do the motherly things that our mother did?
I would say, not to Drewski's point, because my mama didn't cook, clean, none of that. My mom was like Ray Charles' mom. Like, I'm gonna teach you this one time. You got one time, Ray. Ain't nobody gonna feel bad for you, Ray. You're blind. Now get out there and cut the grass with your blind ass. That was my mama's. She from the South. So I didn't have that cleanup thing. My mama told me how to bandage my own wounds and everything. Like, I come from a different generation. So yes, I look for the hardness in a woman. I look for the independence in a woman, not so much the nurturing part of it, because that's who my mama was. Like, my mom was real tough. And it's weird because I come from that whole ass whooping generation. I think I'm looking at everybody stress in their face, and I can feel everybody in this room. Maybe Drewski not as much, but we come from that ass whooping, that soul bruised ass whooping generation. When you get hit so hard for like 10 seconds, you can't make no sound. That's a mama ass whooping right there. Which means you be like, ah!
Tamar, you think that could be a gift and a curse, Tamar?
Shut up.
You think that could be a gift and a curse?
It's definitely a gift and a curse because, when your mom is too involved, especially a man's life, the man expects, just like Drewski was saying, the man expects the woman to be like the mom, and you have to you have to remind your spouse or the person that you with, I ain't your mama, okay? I'm not here to be your housekeeper. I'm not here to baby you. I'm not here to nurture you. I am here to support you. So it's two different roles.
So why do y'all call us daddy then?
Right.
Oh,
especially when I'm back there.
I'm a big daddy. Hey,
I cannot.
It's different roles.
No, but that's a good point though, because it's natural for somebody to want to seek those positive qualities that they had in a parental role in their spouse. So if your mom was like a nurturer or like just really empathetic, like you're going to look for those same exact qualities. Now it's up to that individual who you're with to like set those boundaries as to whether or not like they can fulfill that role. So, but it's very natural for it to happen.
I agree. For like the longest, a lot of the women I would date, start relationships with, I used to look for traits like my mom. And I think I didn't realize till now I met my fiance, who was completely different. And she checks me on certain things. And I go, wow, the whole time I'm looking for another mother that was never going to work out. And now this situation is actually working out because like Tamar said, she checks me on certain things. And I've realized like, oh, she's the one for me. You know what I'm saying? And I think for a while though, I was looking for little traits, whatever it was. Like, oh, she reminds me of my mom. Her and my mom will get along. I ain't have to worry. They can start their own relationship. And it never worked out. And now in this situation, it's been working out the best.
Drewski, I agree with Tamar though, because your mother's influence can mess up your relationship because sometimes nobody's good enough for her boy. Nobody's good enough. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you want 75% mama's boy and maybe about 15% just everything else. Mama's boys, I feel like for men, their mama is their first love. Hands down, the same way women, their first love is their dads, right? So if a man knows how to respect his mama and love his mama when he hears mama's opinion, he's automatically just like a beta male. Like he's just real chill and etc. But I mean, anything over 7% could get a little crazy. But I love a guy who says he loves his mama and loves his sisters. That's always a great sign, just right off the bat.
So Ray, I disagree with you when it talks.
What happened?
I did my whole spiel, no?
You love your mom too much and you put her first before your relationship.
Huh?
That's a good one.
Oh,
that's true. That's why I said 75. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, when mama takes over your whole household, that's a problem.
That's a sucker. You know what I mean? When your mother,
that's not healthy.
Because when if your mother's taking over your whole household, this and that, you're not putting your woman first. Especially if you're married. The Bible says your woman comes first. Your wife comes first before your mother. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I feel like if a man don't know how to handle his household and his mother, he still got a lot to learn. His mother really didn't put the right values in him. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion.
Or maybe she put the right values in him and they didn't individually, and they're just like really enmeshed, which is really unhealthy.
Okay, hold on.
That's why
I want you to explain that when we get back. We're gonna take a break right quick, chop it up with Mike and Donny, and my beautiful host Tamar, and I want to get back to that when we come back from the break.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Mike and Donny. As you can see, Mike is not here tonight, but I am your girl, Tamar Braxton, filling in for him. And I'm happy to be because I'm here with my good friend, Donny. And we are talking about how important your mom influences on your life. And we have an amazing panel. And we were just cut off by the break with Dr. Chandra getting ready to go in about how our moms can overstep in our relationships. Take it away from me, sis. What's going on?
Absolutely. So we were talking about how that can be so unhealthy, right? So a lot of times we don't realize is that when a parent and child have an enmeshed relationship, or they're basically too close, and children aren't given the opportunity to be individuals as they grow up, then they start to develop that enmeshed relationship, and then that enmeshed relationship impacts their future relationships. So if they did want a girlfriend or whoever, then it's likely that mom's going to interfere with that. Why? Because the child and the parent never had an opportunity to properly individuate. That's why it's so important to give your children the opportunity to really be individuals while also being a member of the family system.
But Dr. Shauna, how do you break away from your mom? Are you basically saying you have to break away from your mother to be a man or a woman? To have a relationship?
Not at all. Not at all. So the goal is to keep the family together, but also just allowing that individual to have their own emotions, not instilling your own values into that person, not requiring them to think like you, to dress like you, to act like you. You allow your kid to be an individual. That's how they come into who they are as an adult. And once healthy individuation takes place, then that person can develop future relationships that are also healthy.
But Tamar, don't you think that's hard since your mom been raised you from the birth to 18? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of hard.
It's hard, but you know what? It's the parent responsibility to know when to pull back and to know when to allow the child in the situation to have their own life and make their own decisions, and not infuse your morals and values in their life. You raise a child the way that they should go, and you send them off. That's how that is supposed to work. And if your child comes to you for advice, then you put your 2 cents in. But you ain't supposed to be living in your child's house. Okay. Putting your 2 cents in your child's relationship. After they're a certain age, giving your input on how you feel about their spouse, especially when they didn't ask your ass nothing.
Ooh.
And
See, that's why I feel blessed. I feel blessed.
expected for your child to do for you what they do for their spouse. How about that?
I just like a sensitive man. You know what I mean? I like a man that cry after sex. I like him real soft.
Oh, you done lost your mind.
Next, he just ball into a ball and just boo-hoo. You know what I mean? I like that.
Somebody crying after sex.
But I thought you said you wait, so Soraya tripping because you just said you don't like no beta male.
No, beta is soft. Beta is soft, Donny. You know what I'm saying? I want a man that just all in his emotions, like kind of almost borderline like a female. But it's might be because I'm a little, I jump the fence every now and then. But I like a man.
Oh, now we get it. Now we understand. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want none of it. I don't want none of it. Nanny make you cry. I don't want none of that. You can keep your crying weeping willow. I don't want none of it make me cry afterwards. I'm gonna back up.
I like a man that's in touch with his feminine side. You know what I mean? I like a man that's very soft and gentle and does poetry. That's the kind of dude I like.
But that can come from the way his mama raised him, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
A lot of that comes
I want a mama's boy. I want him to be. I want to smell the breath mist when breath milk. I mean the birth. What do you call it? The breast milk off his lips when I kiss him.
You must say never had no mama's boy.
No, I don't think I have. But I think
Tamar, tell me what a mama's boy act like. How's a mama boy? Because I wouldn't know. How would a mama boy?
Oh, the mama's boy is the third. The mom is the third person in the relationship. Nobody got time for that. First of all, he's coming to his mother before he's coming to you.
No pun intended.
For everything. He's almost asking his mother for permission to date you or to marry you or to how to raise his children. Absolutely not. I don't want no parts of no mama's boy. Do I want his mother's input? Yes, when I ask, when we go and ask. But anything other than that, no, she can't come up in here and run my house. That's not going to work.
What was that movie, Tamar, when it was a movie when the woman said, tell your mama to suck you. What was that movie? What was that movie called?
I don't know that movie, but it's the movie of life. Okay?
That's every black woman right there. That's everybody. Tamar, you ain't got that problem.
I want my guys to answer this. And Donny, I'm going to start with you. If your mother opposed to a female that you really liked and you were dating, would you stop dating her?
No, not at all. You get what I'm saying? Because, my mama did her thing. Now it's time for me to do my thing. You feel what I'm saying? I don't put my mother in my relationships because I know how my mother is. I'm the youngest, so she don't want nobody messing with her baby. You know what I mean? If I tell her I did something wrong, she gonna blame it on the woman. Well, what did she do? I told you, mama, I did it. You get what I'm saying? So I don't get at my mother with those type of anything with my relationship. But and I'm gonna answer your question. No, hell no. My mama can't tell me how to rock my world. No,
I gotta agree with Donny on that one. Because even in my current relationship, when early on when it first started, my mom was so confused where she came from. Like she just kind of came out of the blue, and then quickly we was on Love and Hip Hop, so that she's looking on TV and thinking that's the relationship. She was just all confused and kind of fell back and didn't even want to communicate with me or even know what was going on in the relationship, and that put tension on it because she didn't even know Sky at the time, and it just felt like there was some sort of beef with there. It wasn't no beef because they didn't even know each other, but there was no communication. And I think that put a strain on a relationship, but I couldn't let the way she was feeling affect my relationship with who I was with, because I knew I really loved this person. I wanted to be with this person. And like Donny said, you can't let that get in the way. Like if you have strong feelings, you gotta be a grown man and go with your heart. You can't let.
Hey, Juicy, I want to say one thing before you jump in, RIP. Tamar, she did have some influence over this one chick. I was dealing with this chick who was a TV personality, right? And so my mama said the girl was acting a fool. And my mother said, baby, I know you ain't dealing with that. And so it made me look at the situation. And it was like, why am I dealing with that? But she made me feel kind of guilty and like a sucker. You know what I'm saying? So when she made me feel like a sucker, I'm like, oh yeah, she right. And so I had to look within myself and see what I was dealing with, and then I shook that situation. You know what I mean? So
you think it was your mother's influence, or was it the truth though?
It was the truth, but you know, it's the values that she instilled in me about how to be a man and what type of women to date and this and that. So you know, but she didn't tell me not to deal with but she laid a guilty conscience on me, like, ooh, like you acting like a sucker in so many words. And when your mama tell you act like a sucker, woo, that's the worst.
Number one.
So she gave you like she gave you an objective perspective, but she didn't tell you need to stop dating this girl.
Thank you. That part, Dr. Shonda,
okay.
Yes.
That's number one. And my mama called me a sucker. That's an old school word. I ain't heard that word in a long time. She was like, you ain't nothing but a jive turkey, Donny. That's like a black exploitation mama right there.
Yeah.
For me to answer your question, I don't think my mom influenced my relationship that much because growing up, I had the best of both worlds. I love my mama, but I like my daddy's girlfriend even more. So I always had the position of a mama and the position of a side chick. So it's helped me make my own decisions and see where to put women at. So no, my mama couldn't influence me to choose a girl or not to choose a girl. So I try to find in between the mama and the side chick. I want a mama chick. That's what I want. I want a girl that act like my mama, but a side chick at the same time.
You serious about that, huh? You serious about that, Michael, huh? You really
That's a true story. I don't know why nobody believes me. That is an absolute true story. I love my parents to death, man. I'm telling you that if you met them, you see exactly what I'm talking about, man. My daddy was a pistol and so was my mama, and I love them because they still together. Don't you judge you don't come to my church. Don't you look at me like that, Donny. You don't know what they do.
No. I love it, player. Hey, man, my family, we don't want to talk about mine, player. So I understand what you mean, man. You know?
Yeah, but they always say that men are the head and women are the neck. You know what I mean? So if you get a good woman, a good mama, she's really the advice person. My dad is this huge power move, right? He's he's very, very strong in his community, right? And my mom, when he come back home, he was like a little bitty puppet dog. Did I do it right? You know what I'm saying? Like that was my mama. So I really love a strong woman. I love a strong woman, but I don't know if I guess that's the way I was raised. I feel as though it's the strong man, but then the woman, she still has the power. You know what I mean? I can't explain it.
Moms make decisions off of emotions. You know what I'm saying? Where your pops usually, you know what I'm saying, he thinks before he speaks, but mom is going off emotions, especially with her baby boys, and she wants to make sure they're always in a good position. So a lot of times it's the emotions that kick in and the love for their kids that make them do these irrational decisions and talk crazy and tell you what to do and what not to do. But it's out of love. I look at it like it's out of love.
Can I ask y'all a
Dad
question?
be doing that too.
Can I ask y'all a question? Because I'm a single parent.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm a mama and a daddy. Honestly, I feel like I'm more a mom than a dad because I've been raising my daughter since she was 2 years old by herself. She just turned 14, all by myself. I mean, no child support. Mother lived all the way in Florida. And I'm such a mama, I don't even celebrate Father's Day. I celebrate Mother's Day. I be at Red Lobster with the rest of the hood rats like, yeah, me too. Me too, baby. Me too. Man and women ain't nothing. And what? But is it just me? I want to ask you a question. Is it just me? Or when your mother become a grandmother, that's a total different woman. That's not the same woman that raised you, right?
Yeah.
Because I got women, I can't even yell at my daughter in front of my mama without her losing her mind. She'd be like, don't you yell at the baby. I'm like, wait a minute. Ain't you the same chick that pushed me off the roof? You think you slick. You don't teach nobody how to read with a cigarette. I'm just asking, is that true, Donny? Is your mother not the same mother as a grandmother? Because she's totally different to my daughter than she is to me.
Real talk, man, my mother called me today. I was going to get my eyes checked, and my mother calls driving down the freeway. I said, "What's up, mama?" And she was crying. I was like, "What's wrong?" She was like, "I'm just so happy, all my grandkids, and y'all just take care of me so good." You know what I'm saying? But she was just so happy, her being 81 years old, how we treat her and all that. But she's a different woman, because before she'd be like, yo, why you didn't bring me no food over here? Woo, you, woo, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? When she was in her early days, but now she has softened up. You know what I mean? She's more caring and loving. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they just change at a different age, especially with my kids and her grandkids. Yeah, man, I really feel that. Yeah, player.
Right? She trying to get into heaven. That's what it is. She thinks she's slick.
Yeah.
It is a true story. I feel like with me, my mother will check me on what I do with my son. Like, she will make sure that he has a good diet. Is he outside working out? Is he on the trampoline? Is he playing soccer? Yeah, I think our mothers become our mothers again with their grandkids.
Why
Definitely.
you think that, Tamar?
Because I think, I did ask my mother that one day, like, why you so hard on me when it comes to your grandchild? And she's like, well, we have a chance to actually do it all over again. All the mistakes that we made being parents, we have to go around and, doing everything the right way. And so, I took that perspective, and so I let her go ahead on and, mother me again, because that's exactly what it is.
That's interesting. Speak on that, Dr. Shaw. I never thought about it like that.
I neither. That was dope. I didn't look at that.
No, that's real dope. I mean, I can't speak to experience because I don't have children, but I mean, the best way I can explain it is like those life cycle changes that people go through, right? So when you do become an older adult, your style of parenting does change. So yeah, it makes sense.
And I kind of, to piggyback a little bit off of that, I feel like when it comes to women, with all the busted challenge and all this women empowerment, I think we really kind of forget the nuances of what it takes to be a woman and a mom. You carry life in you for 9 whole months. You bring energy and love and life into the world. No other person can give it. Like, at least I don't know, not yet, but I think it's just beautiful. But I think we take away from it with all the different things we see, where we just see like, oh, it's just a chick, you know what I mean? But no, it's still miraculous to bring life into the world, like hands down.
But so, Rob, what the busted challenge have to do with anything?
No, wait a minute. I'm just saying, like, I can't twerk. Now listen, I can't twerk. I got to twerk on my shoulder. I ain't got nothing.
Challenge in the mother conversations.
I didn't know where it came from.
There's a couple mothers busting it down. Trust me.
What I'm saying is, you look at the woman, you think, oh, you just think she can bounce it and bounce it and bounce it. But in real life, she's a lot more. She's a vessel. You know what I mean? Like for example, I was saying, like, I can't twerk. I got to twerk on my shoulders. I just hit it like this. I don't know, because I ain't blessed with a bottom. But with all these things that's going on, I think we take away from the miracle of what a woman really is sometimes. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, that was beautiful. We're going to come back at you, chop it up with Mike and Donny, my beautiful guest, Tamar Braxton. We'll be right back at you.
Busted challenge.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Mike and Donny. Mike is not here tonight, but I am your girl, Tamar Braxton, filling in for Mike. And it's the amazing Donny here tonight. And we have a great panel. We're having an amazing conversation about our mothers and the influence that they have on our lives. And right before we went to the break, listen, y'all, my girl brought up the Busted Challenge.
Yes.
She brought up the Busted Challenge. Because she brought up the Busted Challenge, it raised a couple eyebrows here on this panel tonight. And it got me to thinking, what expectations do we have on our mothers? Can we not do certain things? Are we allowed to do certain things? What is the stop sign when it comes to us women being mothers? And what is the stigma that we have on putting the limitations on, you can't do this, you can't do that, it is not appropriate because you're a mother? Sorry, what's up with that?
Listen, I feel like a mother is nothing but an older teenager. Listen, I'm telling like, come on, I'm being honest. I feel like when a mom, as they say back in the day, when you become a mom, you got to dress like a mom, PTA mom, you get a van like a PTA mom. But there's a lot of women right now, grandmamas, and they still in the club. Not saying that's good, but what I'm saying is I feel like women have to give up their freedom and their youth when they have kids. And I don't agree with that.
But you said not saying is good. Why is it not good? Because this is one thing that my mother always checked us on. She was like, I am your mother, but I'm still a woman. Period.
Yes, that part. That part.
Not for men. Not for
Not
men.
for
I'm like Jody and Baby Boy. Hell no. What you doing up here? When you get to a certain age? No. Not I'm.
What do you mean the age?
With men, we're very protective. As a little kid, I was very protective. I got a story to tell, but I'm not going to tell it right now because
Don't tell it. Don't tell it.
my mom was in the room with this man. I was 5 years old. I was knocking on the door. And I kept knocking. And then I was crying. I said, y'all in there doing the pussy. You know what I'm saying? She came out and she broke my butt. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I was protected for my mom at 5 years old. That's a true story. I told her y'all was in there doing the pussy. You know what I'm saying?
So you stopped your mama. She stopped his mama from having the original busted open challenge. That was the original busted challenge.
She whipped my butt though, but I'm just saying though, as men, we're very, very protective when you're in a single household and you only have a mother in a house, you don't have a father. So, you know, me and my brothers and sisters, you know, I was very protective because I was a young kid and I seen a lot. So,
well, speaking of pussy, I seen a video where Cardi B was playing WAP and Culture came walking in the room, and I think her mother instinct kicked in and she cut the song off. And then people were saying, oh, so other kids could listen to WAP, but when your daughter come in here, and it started like this big, you know, uproar of like, should mothers be allowing their kids to listen to certain things and see their mom in a certain light? And I think, you know, Cardi was like, hey, my personal opinion, I don't want Culture at this age to be exposed to it.
Absolutely.
As a mother, it's up to you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the mother to all these kids. It's up to you as a mother to let your kids listen to WAP if you want. But I think it is a lot of pressure on mothers because of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what's right and wrong sometimes. And
I say do it.
And far as
I
mother,
say do it.
Let me just say this. As far as mother, that's right next to God to me. When you say mother, you be like God, then mother.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
No,
I disagree with that.
like your mother, because you're a mother, you are not allowed to do the busted challenge. You can't be.
No.
Not my mama.
What did Donny say? You can't be out here doing the pee.
I want my mama to do all that.
Men, no matter what. Men, no
I
matter
need a woman to do all that. I'm with you, Tamar. I want my woman to do the busted challenge. Ain't nothing better.
We talking about your mama, R.I.P., not your woman.
But because you're a mother, it doesn't take away your sexuality, your ability to be sensual. Like, it doesn't take away any of that. It just means that you have a child.
Yeah. And there's a lot of young mothers too that, you know, you become a mother at a young age, you ain't really lived your life yet. You ain't feel like you lived your best life. So now you're stuck in the middle. Like, what type of mother am I gonna be?
Let me tell y'all something.
I agree with that.
I'm single and I got to stay in the game, okay?
You still gotta stay hot, Tamar. You gotta stay hot.
Whatever challenge to be up.
What we saying though, Tamar, is that for as far as your child, how your child is looking at you, as a mother, you get what I'm saying? So we as individuals, we look at our mothers a certain type of way. We don't look at our mothers like no thought. You know what I'm saying? You know,
you're looking at the wrong way, not thought. You're looking at the wrong way.
Yeah.
You want your mother, right? Because think about it, you are still a woman at the same time. So keep it real. You want a woman that's classy, but you want her to be a ratchet at the same time. You want her to be clatchy. That's when you classy, but ratchet at the same time. You clatchy.
I agree. But I feel as though men, it's still a male-dominated world. No matter what, the way we look at it, it's still very male-dominated because the first thing you said, Donny, is I don't want to see my mother that way. You know what I mean? But you can see your father date other women. You can see your father be a Rolling Stone. You can see all that stuff with your father. And that's a man being a man, you know? But with your mom, oh, no, precious mother. Precious mother, no. You know? So as we move into this woman empowerment situation, where we're figuring out the different gender roles that are healthy for women too. That's the way I see
both. You gotta have both.
Exactly.
You should be able to bust it open and bust it open with the business. That's what I'm saying. Bust it open on the floor and bust it open in the kitchen. But only thing I will tell women, stop doing them challenges in dirty rooms. That's what you can't do. Ain't nothing worse than seeing the girl doing the challenge in the dirty room.
And you
The Instagram model with a mattress on the ground. The mattress ain't got no box spring. It's just on the ground. And you doing a busted challenge.
But in all seriousness, as a single mother, I do think we do have a responsibility not to embarrass our children, especially it's the age of social media and people can leave comments and your children can look at these things not just this year, but 2, 3, 4 years down the road.
What are you talking about? It is a mom's job to embarrass you.
Your children. You just don't like if your kid is like 1 or 2, then maybe you on the cusp of being able to do the busted challenge. But if you got a 5 to 10, 12-year-old, you are not allowed to do the busted challenge. Okay, you just can't do that because your children are going to be embarrassed and they're going to tease you in school, and that ain't it. Okay.
Yes.
What are you talking? Every black mom embarrass their son. That's a black mama's job to embarrass you. I'm the only person that had that mama that comes to the PTA meeting with the nightgown, with the safety pin in the middle, with the titty pop out halfway through. I'm the only person that had that. When your mama be like, "Mama, put your titty away." You embarrassing me.
Yes, it's a different type of embarrassment. Okay, our parents back in the day used to come to the school with the sweatpants and the high heels on. My mother did it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Hair bonnet.
They ain't have social media though.
Have social media and they didn't have the silhouette and busted challenge, and don't nobody want to talk about their mother being in school with their friends and everybody looking at your mother in a sexual manner. That's embarrassing to your child. You don't want to impose that kind of mental crazy.
But I feel like some mothers want to become friends with their kids. They want to make the kids feel like, look, I'm still young, I'm still hip, I could rock with you. You got a 15, 16-year-old doing a busted challenge and the mom is doing it with her. I think mothers are trying to just stay in tune with what their kids are doing, so the kids could say, "Oh, my mom is cool, my mom is hip."
Yeah,
I think it gets blurred there too.
I agree.
Yeah, blurred boundaries is what it is.
Was it Dr. Chandra?
Yeah, and I said blurred boundaries is what it is, but no, I was saying I agree with Tamar. Like I feel as though, so I haven't done the busted challenge and I don't plan on it, but I feel as though as Black women, like you have the authority and the power to own your sexuality, because at the end of the day, historically speaking, people have been over sexualizing us for years. So why not take back our sexuality, reclaim that so that other people aren't, and we reclaiming the narrative basically. Because at the end of the day, like
you said you don't have any kids.
Go ahead.
How come you opposed to the busted challenge? You don't have any children. You don't have why?
It just wouldn't be good for me. So I am a PK and I'm also a minister myself. So the church would be in the uproar if I did the busted challenge. Yeah.
You could do it with that different song. Never would have made it.
Several times. He doesn't know what a twerk is. I've twerked for him in the name of the Lord several times. Okay.
It's your Baba should have bought a Honda.
Bought a Mazda. Should have bought a Honda.
Should have bought a Honda.
Don't say this about when it comes to the case of like Muslim women. You know how Muslim women always they cover themselves and they only show their eyes, right? And at one point when I was looking at it with narrow vision, I was like, golly, man, the men are oppressing them that they only can show their eyes. Like, that's horrible, right? But then when I looked more into the culture, the women decided that was their power to only show their eyes and keep everything else, all the curves and all the stuff we like, secret, So it's kind of toss up. I feel as though when it comes to this modern day, where women are taking back their identity, the same way Black people are taking back their identity of the N-word, I think it's just up to you as an individual. Do you want to bust it? If you want to bust it, baby, bust it, And if you don't want to bust it, just sit at home and sit on it. I don't know. I don't know. But
so you're saying the women are taking back their identity. What was their identity before all this then?
No, but see, okay, so this is the tricky part. When you tell a woman she can't do something, then you're suppressing her identity. Now, if a woman chooses to express her twerk, she chooses to make money by showing her body, she chooses to do all these different things, a woman should not have to be monitored or manhandled by a man. Now, some women discreetly will automatically cover up and show their, not reveal anything. Then there's the other women who want to be a hoe. No offense, they want to be a hoe. So they want to express themselves in their dance, and I don't should say hoe, but they want to express themselves.
Yeah, you did. That's a hoe.
And I feel like it's a woman's right to do whatever she wants to do with her body. From abortion to revealing. If she want to wear a low cut shirt and she's expressing her sexy, go for it. The same way as another woman want to be conservative, she want to cover up. So I just think it's a woman's truth to do whatever she want to do.
I agree with that. I agree. That's why I love a strong woman who don't mind sleeping with a guy on the first date. I admire a woman that takes charge and be like, I'm gonna give him some because I'm comfortable in myself and I don't mind what you just said, going to Planned Parenthood and handling my own business. I love.
Oh my God! I think it's
How did we get there?
Yeah, because I thought we was talking about the values of our mother and what they're giving us. Because I don't want my mama walking down the street with no G-string up her ass and this and that. So I thought we was talking about the values that our mother gave us and what they instilled on us. Y'all done went some other places. We're gonna get back on track and we're gonna come right back, chop it up with Mike and Donnie with my girl Tamar Braxton.
That's what she said.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Mike and Donnie. As you can see, Mike is not here tonight, but I am your girl, Tamar Braxton, filling in for Mike. And you do have the amazing, the handsome Donnie Harrell here. This is our amazing panel of guests tonight talking about our mothers and how they influence us. But first, I want to get into some of our viewers who are live. You guys are live and in charge tonight, honey. Okay. So Christy O says, mothers are the spiritual keepers of the home. I agree with that, sis. I think you're right about that. And Deborah Will says, children should be protected and parents should value a child's innocence. I agree with you on that. So that way we have to be responsible about the content that we put out so our children won't be embarrassed. I think we touched on that tonight. But another thing that we touched on tonight was when our mothers approve of us and how happy they are and how supportive they are. But what happens when our mothers disapproves of our lifestyle and our lives and our careers? What's up with that, Donnie? Have you gone through that before? Because I know I have.
Yeah, my mother always prayed over me because, I wasn't too much of a good kid. And, people used to wish a lot of bad things on me. So my mother, she didn't approve of me being in the street. You know what I'm saying? But I would always, my mom wouldn't see me 2 or 3 years at a time, but I always would call her because I didn't want to bring that negativity around her. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm glad the type of man I am now because she raised me to be a good kid. My mother didn't raise me to be no badass kid. You know what I'm saying? So I had to come back home. So every time I was doing something bad, I thought about my mother and the values that she stole upon me. And so, I had to come back home. I had to stop doing the bad things I was doing. And you know what I mean? So that's very important to come back home and get those values that your mother put on you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my thing.
Did she come to you and tell you that I ain't here for this, I don't like this? She tried to get you to stop doing it 1,000 times.
No, what she used to do, she used to just be like looking down and like, baby, what you doing? Because she never knew what I was doing, but she knew I was doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? But because I never brought any wrong. I never want my mother to be in any danger. So I never was, brung something to her, but she just to hear things in the street. And when the FBI knocking at your door, you know what I'm saying? So your son doing something. You get what I'm saying? So, I didn't want my mother to feel that because when you people don't understand as a kid, your mother has control. But when you get a certain age, they have no more control. Then that's when they worry even more. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't want my mother to worry like that. I worried my mama to death, man. And I'm sorry I did that to you, mama.
Oh, that's so sweet. Rip, I know you did a lot of disappointing because you were over here talking crazy.
No.
What happened?
Well,
when your mama disapproved of something that you did?
To be totally honest, me being a comedian, my mom told me I would never be a comedian. She told me I wasn't funny. She told me I could never do it. And I dropped out of law school, actually. I was in my first year of law school and I dropped out. And I moved to New York and I slept on the streets of New York homeless for a year. And because I've always wanted to be a comedian since I saw Def Comedy Jam at the age of like 12 years old. And I started doing when I was 15. And when she found out I was doing it, she put a stop to it. So that in the back of my mind, with that negative reinforcement my mom pushed me, it always made me want to prove my mama wrong and show that I could be a comedian. And now that I'm older, and she sees me on television, all the movies I've done and all the different television shows, it shows her like, wow, my son stuck with it. And I just thank God for my daddy's girlfriend because she believed in me the whole time and she made sure that I did comedy. So that's why I say it takes two people sometimes, and that is a true story. And I thank Auntie Jockey to death for that because if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be here. So that's my truth.
Rip, stop playing.
I'm not even joking. I know it sounds funny, y'all, but I'm being honest. My Auntie Jockey is the one who used to take me to the Cotton Club and introduce me to D-Ray and show me that she's like, this is what you want to do with your life, and took me to the cotton clubs and made me stand outside, all jokes aside. She was the one that did that, honestly.
That was your daddy's side piece, right?
Yes. But my Uncle Charles was nice too. He took me to the zoo. He had a Harley Davidson, so he would take me out riding. He got me into motorcycles and he got me in other stuff. So it takes a village sometimes. That's all I'm saying. It takes a village. So I respect my mom, because I know y'all think it's bad, but that negative reinforcement, it was harder on me and it made me go through a lot of things. So my mom coming at me that way made me appreciate comedy more. And now to this day, we have such a respect, and I thank her for giving me that negative reinforcement, because when people told me I wasn't funny or you got booed, I never felt the way. It always made me pick myself up and keep going. So.
Well, you funny, brother.
Thank you.
You funny, brother.
You're nut, because I ain't calling on you no more because you stress me out.
No, I'm just telling you the truth. The pastor here with us, so God be speaking to me sometimes. Sometimes the devil grabs some of my throat, but it's God saying, anointing me to come through.
What about you,
Not
Drew?
the anointing. That's not the anointing.
I don't think my mom ever, try to stop me from DJing, but I think she just never understood where it could take me. We didn't have people in our family that became successful off of music or in the music business. And I think it took her a while. She thought it was like a hobby at first. Oh yeah, my son DJing, doing the local nightclubs. And it went from that to doing big shows. And then from that to DJing on the radio, then television. And then she realized like, oh, he just turned this into a career. But she never questioned it. I think she didn't even know. Like, she never realized how far it was going to take me, to the point where now I can support her. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, like Rip said, his mom kind of stopped him or discouraged him. I never had none of those issues. It was kind of like, okay, this is your dream. Go ahead, go for it, without it even being said. It was just, we never even discussed it. And we still don't even talk about it. But I know she's excited. I know she sees everything that I've accomplished just off of that dream. And it makes me excited now. We don't even got to look. I could just look at her and say, look, Ma, that new car, or look, your son got another house off of his dream. And it's something we don't even got to talk about. But I appreciate her not being the type of mom like Rip's mom. No disrespect to Rip's mom, but
this my mom. I bought my mom a house with comedy money. I was like, look what you told me I couldn't do. Now go to bed in this 7-bedroom house that your son bought with the gift you said he didn't have. So
all jokes aside, what does one do when a mom doesn't believe in their child's dreams, goals, and aspirations only because she's never heard of it being successful before? What would be the right approach for a child to explain it to their mom?
Yeah, I would say it's always helpful to get a third party involved. So whether that's like a therapist or maybe a local community leader, like a pastor, or somebody who's well developed in their skill set, who can really kind of explain to mom and the child like what the benefits are to this career. Even being involved in like guidance counselors at school can definitely be helpful in that regard. So there are different avenues that you can take. And I will also encourage like parents just to hear their children out in terms of their dreams, because that goes back to the conversation we were having about being too enmeshed. When we're too enmeshed and we keep imposing what we want our kids to do, as opposed to allowing them to live out their dreams and develop their own career related values and things of that nature, then, I mean, at the end of the day, it's unfortunate, because children then just regret not being able to pursue those career opportunities.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. So, Rip, let me ask you a question, because you're the one who said that your mama never supported you being a comic, and now here you are, this A1 comic, and totally cracking us up. What if your daughter came to you with the career choice that you did not agree with? How would you do that? How would you talk to your daughter differently?
So that is actually something that does happen. My daughter is in the MMA. My daughter is an MMA fighter. She's been doing this since she was little, and she plays lead guitar. I've always, because of how I was brought up, I encourage my daughter to do whatever she's actually into. And it gave me a life. Said, sweetie, as long as you believe in it and that's your passion, I will follow you to whatever it is. You're gonna be a stripper, let's be Cardi. If you're gonna be, let's be Megan. Let's go. Whatever your lane is, I'm gonna support you as long as your heart is in it. I'm with you. I'm riding with you. I'm your biggest fan.
I gotta take this last break, you guys. We're gonna come right back and we're gonna wrap up this show. My beautiful co-host, Chop It Up with Mike and Donny with Tamar Braxton.
Welcome back to Chopping It Up with Mike and Donny. As you can see, Mike is not here tonight, but I'm your girl, Tamar Braxton, and I'm filling in for Mike tonight, and I'm having a ball with crazy Donny. For real. It's a crazy panel that we've had all night long. I mean, I'm telling you, I've been cracking up. We've been talking about the influence that our mother has had on our lives. I mean, we can all collectively say that our mothers are beautiful, amazing women who have tried their best to raise the most amazing citizens and human beings as possible. And I would like to say, just personally, I love you, Mom. Thank you for everything. Donny, I want to know what's going on with our panel and what they have coming up, don't you?
Yeah, I want to know, Tamar. Let's go.
Yeah.
What's happening crazy?
Well, that'd be great. I just want to tell my mom that she watching. I love you too, Mom, and Auntie Jockey. I appreciate what you did, and Uncle Craig. I appreciate what you did as well. Takes a village. And I'm working on my new project. Big shout out to Kevin Hart, called Urban Eats and Treats. We'll actually be shooting the next 2 weeks in Atlanta, where I go to show that we have great things to eat in urban neighborhoods and shine light on the fact that we got all these different chefs and infusions. And I take my friends around like Cardi, and maybe we can get Tamar on the show as well and show us some of your favorite restaurants that you love to eat at when you in urban neighborhoods, to show them and change the narrative of how they think we live and what we in the environments that we live in. We're not just check cash in places and Chinese food stores and liquor stores. We actually got good food in our neighborhood.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Thank you for that. What about you, Sari?
Yes, and it's your funny girl. It's your girl, Funny Sarai, Funny on Instagram, FUNNYSAYRIE. You follow me, check it out. I'm always traveling. Like, I just came back from Alaska the other day. It was -30. I got the frost bitten to it was interesting. It was very interesting. But you guys travel there. I mean, you follow me. You'll see all my travels, see all my comedy, do red carpets, all that good stuff. You follow me. And I also come out with this web series called By the Way. By the Way. And it's so much more coming out. Just follow on Instagram, FUNNYSAYRIE for more plus more.
Yes, thank you, Sarai. You were amazing tonight.
Thank you.
And
Drewski.
Brewski.
DJ Drewski.
I'm still here.
Busy man himself.
Yeah, right. But you can catch me on Hot 97 here in New York City. I'm on the radio 6 days a week. Follow me on social media @SoDrewski. And during the quarantine, I was able to lock in the studio and produce a whole album with a lot of the young hot artists that are coming up right now. I just dropped a record called 2020 Vision with Chef G and Sleepy Hollow out of Brooklyn, New York. We're over millions of streams, and the video is about to drop on Tuesday, so I'm excited for that. And the whole album. I got all the A Boogies, the Little TJs, all the hot kids, you know, especially on the New York end and just across the world. We got artists from the UK that's going to be on the project, so I'm excited for that. But just make sure you follow me on social media. You can catch up with everything.
Yes, we're always excited to hear new music from you, Drewski. Thank you so much for your contribution. And last but not least, the doctor in the house, Mr. What's happening with you? Where'd she go?
Yeah, so you guys can follow me on Instagram. I'm right here. Can y'all see me?
Well, we gotta hurry up. We gotta go. We gotta go. Come on.
Okay, y'all can follow me on Instagram @Paging Dr. Shonda. I also have an app called Minds of the Culture. So it is a Black mental health app. So you can download that in the App Store and on Google Play. That's it. That's all.
Yes. And I'm your girl, Tamar Braxton. You can follow me on all platforms, Tamar Braxton. And don't forget to check out my podcast, Under Construction. And thank you, Donny, for having me all week long. So
this was beautiful. I love hosting with you, Tamar. You're a beautiful soul. And I want to let everybody know, respect your mothers. You only get one. So you got to cherish them. So we're going to wrap it up tonight. Chop it up with Mike and Donny, with my girl, Tamar Braxton. Stay tuned for the Tammy Mac Lake Show.
You get 2 sometimes.